You deserve better than those bang average relationships, those bang average friendships, where you just have that surface level connection. That doesn't feel fulfilling, does it? It doesn't feel nice to leave that meetup and think, oh, I wasn't myself. I feel kind of icky. I feel kind of drained. I now feel like I have to spend a lot of time rejuvenating myself by watching a YouTuber who I at least feel like I can connect with. It's so much more painful to feel unseen and lonely in someone else's company. So today we invite in self-respect, deep confidence, and we let go of the need to be widely liked. Welcome to this safe space. I hope you're feeling comfortable and I hope that you're feeling open to listening to what I have to share with you. This is what I find to be enlightening and true and inspirational, but it might not sit as comfortably with you, the information that I'm giving you. So please take everything I say with a pinch of salt and apply your own life lessons and thoughts and experiences to what I have to say. Not being yourself authentically, not expressing your needs, your personality, your feelings, your ideas, your passions with people is detrimental to your connections and to your self-esteem. We really do deserve to express ourselves. It's so beautiful to be yourself with pretty much every person that you meet and talk with. Obviously, there are going to be times where we adapt and we hide parts of ourselves because we want to be amicable with people and get along, but this video is going to help you be stronger in yourself, in expressing yourself, because you deserve to show people your truth. Even if that makes other people uncomfortable, that's their problem, not yours. I don't want you to change yourself so you make other people comfortable, but make yourself uncomfortable. I don't want you to laugh at jokes that you don't find funny. I don't want you to be really smiley when someone's actually taking up a lot of space and not really seeing you and not including you in the conversation. I also don't want you to abandon your values or hide your personality to be likable in other people's eyes. It's really important to remember when we're pretending to be someone we're not, when we're laughing at jokes we don't find funny, when we're pretending that we believe in something when we don't, when we're pretending that we're really happy and comfortable when we're not, we're letting people around us know that this is okay. This is something that we're comfortable with. Obviously, we want to have authentic connections with people. We want to gravitate towards friends that are actually going to make us feel really good. And that's why it's so important for me to just remind you that actually, even though it's scary to be yourself in front of people, the people that are going to value you for you will see that and they will gravitate towards you. The more you fake your personality, who you are, the more you'll attract fake friends. But the more genuine you are with people, the more authentic you can be, the more open you can be with what you truly feel and believe, the more likely you are to attract people that see you. And that does mean that you might be disliked. Because when we step away from people pleasing and we step up as authentic people, some people are going to dislike us because we can't all be likable to everyone, because we're all so different. There are so many people out there in the world. Okay, so some people are not going to like us and we have to accept that. Even though it's a little bit scary, we just need to practice acceptance. And I'm not saying because I've said that now to you, it's just going to click and it's going to work for you and you're going to be okay with being disliked. It's something you have to constantly remind yourself when you're in those situations where you feel the need to pretend to be someone you're not, so someone likes you. You just need to remind yourself, it's okay if they dislike me. I'd rather be myself and say things that come from the heart rather than pretend to be someone I'm not and be liked by them for a version of me that is just not true. The more honest you are and the more expressive you are with what you deeply feel and believe, the more likely you are to shift through the crowds and find your people. The people that are going to go, I agree with you, or I don't agree with you, but that's so interesting and let's talk about it more. I love these deep chats and you're really empathetic and kind and I love being around you. I love that you're introverted because I am too. The more likely we are to connect with those people that just see us as equals, see us as someone to respect, see us as someone to have a really interesting dialogue with. You deserve better than those bang average relationships, those bang average friendships, where you just have that surface level connection. That doesn't feel fulfilling, does it? It doesn't feel nice to leave that connection, leave that meetup and think, oh, I wasn't myself. I feel kind of icky. I feel kind of drained. I now feel like I have to spend a lot of time rejuvenating myself by having a bath or, watching a YouTuber who I at least feel like I can connect with. It's not nice to have that interaction. It's really not worth doing that because it's so much more painful to feel unseen and lonely in someone else's company. So today, we invite in self-respect, deep confidence, and we let go of the need to be widely liked. I think that's the key here. It's okay to want to be likable. Actually, that's something we can't really avoid. As humans, it's our kind of like instinct to come together as a community because we feel safer in community. And we want that community, it's good for our mental health. But that community doesn't need to be the whole world. We don't need to be liked by everyone. So that's why I say it's really important to just distinguish between being liked and being widely liked. I would like to be liked by my select few people that I like and respect. I don't need to be widely liked. I just want to reiterate to you guys that I'm not judging you at all. I really, really get what you're experiencing, hence why I'm making a video on it, because it's something that I can speak from in a very personal way. So yeah, no judgment here. This is a safe space. You can comment down below and share your stories, and I'm not going to go, oh, I can't believe you care about being liked. You're so sad. I'm not going to be like that. It's so much harder to be strong in who you are when you don't feel like you've got that collection of people backing you up, loving you, supporting you. I do think it's a lot easier for me to not people please anymore because I've got friends that I don't need to people please around. I can speak my opinions, I can share my ideas, I can be really unapologetically myself around them, and they show me love for being exactly who I am. So it's so much easier now for me to hold my ground when there are people that don't appreciate who I am, because I'm like, it's okay, I've got my friends that see me. So obviously if you don't have that group of people that make you feel loved and seen and respected, maybe that's something you want to try seeking out through messaging people on social media that you think have similar values to you, going on Bumble and, you know, doing some friend dating, or just joining a yoga class, joining a club in your local town. It's really worth gathering those people together and keeping them close, because then you can go out into the big wide world with so much more strength, backbone, self-respect, self-esteem. I think it's so much easier to have people-pleasing tendencies if you're a woman. A lot of our culture kind of normalizes sexist jokes and behaviors that are really damaging towards women. So naturally, to fit into that, we have to pretend that we find all of that funny when actually it's hurting us, it's making us uncomfortable. Women people pleasers, I think, are very common. You are not here on planet Earth today to impress other people. You are not here to give people your endless love and time and energy if they aren't willing to see you and respect you. You are not here to hide beautiful elements of yourself, of your personality, so you make other people comfortable. If I ever feel the need to hide the fact that I do YouTube with someone, then I have to catch myself in that moment and think, is it worth hiding this? And if this person then reacts badly to the fact that I do this, do I even care about being likable in their opinion? What am I going to get from pretending to be someone I'm not? I'm going to get a false connection with someone that doesn't see me. That's going to make me feel worse than just not having that connection and maybe having a bit more time to myself. I would much rather be authentic and have a bit more time to myself than be surrounded by people that don't see me and that don't give me the space to be me. You must reaffirm to yourself that you are enough, that you are interesting, that your values are your values, and that's okay and that's beautiful to stick to honor. This life is very much for you to live. It's okay to not be liked. I would rather put myself out there and be seen by the people I'm meant to be seen by, and to be misunderstood by the people that are just not destined to be my friend and a part of my life. Not everyone's going to want to be your best friend. I think I've actually really stepped into a lot of acceptance when it comes to likability and friendship, and for a long time I just wanted to be widely liked. I've been able to move into this space where I feel like I've healed a lot and I've got a lot of love to give now, and I realise that a lot of people aren't able to navigate from that space of love and kindness, and I don't want to be in the company of people that aren't loving and kind. But we do live in a world that isn't, you know, encouraging of people acting from a place of love and kindness. So I have just kind of accepted that it's going to be harder to find those people that are navigating from that beautiful place. But there are people, I don't want you to feel out of hope. There are people out there that have so much beauty to bring into the world, so much love and kindness and empathy. You just need to seek it out, and you need to be more intentional with how you present yourself. You need to be more authentic, because it's so much harder to find people that are willing to have those deep chats with you, that are willing to fully see you and give you space to talk about your stuff, and that are willing to make you feel really celebrated and uplifted. We really need to put ourselves out there in order for those people to kind of see us. I'm not saying, you know, go and tell everyone your life story and overshare. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying speak up when it naturally feels right. Share elements of yourself that don't feel too vulnerable, and people will respond, and their response will reflect their aura, their energy, their personality. And then you can make the decision whether you want to entertain that person. So the other day I was having a really surface level chat with someone. I was, having small talk, which I rarely do and I don't like to do. I'm a very straight into the deep stuff, straight into the more like philosophical conversations. But I was just doing this because I didn't want to make the other person uncomfortable, and we were just having this quite average conversation. And then someone else joined the conversation and they started talking about their political standpoint, and then a really interesting conversation brewed. And I realised that the person I'd been having this small talk with the whole time was very much on my wavelength. And it just reminded me, oh my gosh, it's so worth the risk of putting yourself out there. Obviously, you want to make sure you're safe. You know, you're in safe company, you're not going to be in danger. But it's so worth, in a safe environment, putting yourself out there and your opinions out there, because you never know who's going to share the same values as you. It is so easy to see someone and think, they're not going to get that I'm vegan. They're not going to get, you know, that I care about women's rights. They're not going to be a feminist. It's so easy to make that judgment. But we all know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Put yourself out there more. That's what I'm trying to say. I know that sometimes things feel off and you retract your energy, and I think it's good to do that and to be very intuitive in those situations and kind of read the room, read the energy. But if you think, you know, there is a chance that you're just scared of not being likable, but there is a chance of, you know, the person listening to you and maybe having at least an open mind, I encourage you to be more vocal and honest and vulnerable. I get that sometimes we adapt in order to fit in. I really get that. And sometimes it's really, you know, useful to do that, especially if, you know, it's Christmas time and you're meeting lots of people that you don't really spend a lot of time with. It's very easy to just have that small talk, not give much away. I get why people do that. I do that. It's just pick your battles kind of thing. But equally, people surprise you. I've even had that with my mum's friends. I've been surprised because so many of them are so interested about the fact that I do YouTube. They're so positive, they're so curious, they're so open-minded. And it's really nice to talk about it with somebody who is a little bit older, who has a different perspective to me because they've grown up in a different time or with a different environment and group of people around them. I love hearing other people's opinions on things that are very personal to me. It helps me grow, it helps me open my mind more. So yeah, just be open with people, because that also helps you be open-minded. If you find yourself being really tempted to people please, if you're in a setting where you are opposite somebody and they are talking about something that you don't agree with or you don't really care about, instead of kind of pretending that you're really interested or pretending that you agree, I encourage you to Hold back. And if that thought comes up, I really want to impress them, I really want them to like me, just ask yourself, why do I want to impress them? What am I going to gain from that? Do I really want to give this person the power to determine how I act in this moment and how I express myself? Or should I take my power back for myself? What would that look like if I was taking my power back? I think in those moments, it's really good to just think about the long run. Rather than thinking about what's going to be good for me and easy for me, rather, in this moment, think about what's going to be good for me in the long run. Tell people your worth. Tell people that you are valuable. Tell people what you are good at. Let them know your strengths. Really vocalize to people why you're special, why you're important, why you deserve respect and appreciation, why you deserve to be treated like the valuable person that you are. If we say to people all the time, oh, I'm so bad at this, or I'm so ugly, oh, I'm so bad at my job, people start to view us in the light that we paint out. Our words really do impact how people perceive us and then how people treat us. So it's really good to paint that beautiful picture. Obviously, there's going to be, some things that you're uncomfortable with in terms of how you act and how you function and how you view yourself. But that's okay. We're all faultable. We're all problematic. That's the nature of being human. We are naturally imperfect. But as long as we can kind of accept that and own that, and also reflect on the fact that we have very beautiful characteristics and attributes and strengths, as long as we remind ourselves that that's there too, and that's something that we can lean on and grow and develop, then we're really in a place of power. So set the bar high so people treat you accordingly, so people treat you well. This might be new territory for you. You might bond with people because you're the person that's like, oh no, I'm rubbish, but you're amazing. I think those kind of connections are actually quite common. But you need to make sure that you are around people that let you shine that bright orange light. You deserve to be the best version of yourself around your friends. And if your friends need you to be, this dimmed down version, then they're not true friends. They're not friends that you want to entertain. But do realize that sometimes it's more kind of self-inflicted. We decide to paint ourselves in this low light because we don't want to be intimidating to our friends. But maybe our friends would be comfortable with that and would like to see that from us, because it is inspiring to see our friends speak so highly of themselves. So give it a go around those friends that you're usually talking quite negatively about yourself around, and see how they react. So if you're not sure how to vocalize your self-appreciation, I have some short statements for you. I know my value, my feelings matter, I will make a difference, and don't underestimate me. If you feel really detached from your self-worth, from what you have to bring to the world, if right now you're thinking, I don't know what my value is, then I've got some kind of prompts, some questions for you to help you get your brain going and to help you think of those positive traits that you embody. Because I know you have them. I know you do. There's a reason why you're watching this video. It's because you're clearly quite motivated to self-reflect and be aware and to think deeper. That's beautiful in itself. The research and the time that you're giving to your growth, your healing journey, that's one strength. Some questions. What makes you different, unique, or special? How do you impact people or the world? What are your strengths? They might be creative strengths, they might be social strengths. Interpret those prompts, those questions in the way that you want to. Hopefully that will get you thinking. It's very easy to say, oh, no, there's nothing good about me. I don't have any positive qualities. I've got a lot of flaws. It's very easy to notice those things because usually our negative mindset is more quick to show up and a lot stronger than our positive mindset. But we can get better at being more complimentary to ourselves and other people. Over time, the more you seek to think about the things that you're grateful for in the world around you, the people around you, but also in yourself, the easier it gets. So really build up that kind of positive momentum. And over time, you'll find it easier to be thinking from a positive mindset. Anytime that a negative thought comes up in your head, it's very easy to go straight to judgment and be like, oh, why am I so negative? Why have I got such bad self-esteem? It's very easy to just be so judgmental. Sometimes being a bit quieter and stepping more into your empathy and your understanding and your observer mode is the best thing to do. Sometimes it's better to just step away from that judging voice and to just go, interesting that I'm thinking that. Maybe it's because I went through this when I was younger. Practicing empathy over being judgmental is always a good thing to do. Self-worth and self-love really isn't about being perfect, about being fully healed. We are human. We are going to feel sad, angry, fearful. That is our nature. We are always going to experience the complex array of emotions that are just reality for us. We're going to go up and down that roller coaster. Our mood, our feelings are going to fluctuate throughout our life. So please do remind yourself when you're experiencing those kind of more negative emotions and feelings that there is nothing wrong with you. Maybe there's a story to be told, a moment to reflect on or learn from, but there really is nothing wrong with you. More acceptance, more empathy, and less judgment. So when we feel the urge to people please, usually it's because we have a fear of not being liked, a fear of being left, a fear of not having anyone and being lonely. It's really good to acknowledge why you're people pleasing in the first place, to get a little bit deeper. So I do encourage you to kind of journal and talk with people and to try and dig a little bit deeper and try and figure out what the core feeling is, what the core feeling of lack stems from, what experiences and life lessons that you've just acquired that have made you think, right, I need to adjust in order to be enough. I'm not inherently enough until I adjust. I want you to ponder why you think like that, what could have impacted you, and remember to be empathetic and not judgmental when you start exploring that. It's the most empowering thing, realizing that you can let go of the need to be liked, because it means that there is so much less pressure on every social interaction. There's so much less pressure to be this performer and to be on your best form. That is something that does still show up for me. I do sometimes leave an interaction with a friend and think, I was feeling a bit anxious at that one point, or I was a bit tired, so I wasn't on my best form, and then I start to panic. And I think that is a people-pleasing worry tendency, to worry about not being perfect in that moment, not being your best self. But we need to let go of this idea that we can be perfect for people. We need to release the idea that we can control how we act in every situation so other people like us. All we can be is ourselves in the very moment that we're in. Sometimes being yourself means saying less because you're tired. Sometimes being yourself means saying more because you've watched loads of podcasts and documentaries and you're feeling really inspired and you've got a lot of thoughts that you want to share. Our situation is different at different points in our life, at different points in our day, and it's just great to honour what your truth is in the moment. It's such a peaceful realization to know that there is no right way of expressing yourself. There's no right way of connecting with someone. There's no this is the best version of me. There's only what feels right to you in the moment. You can't control how other people are going to see you. You can't control exactly how you're going to act in that moment or express yourself. All you can do is release the truth that is your current situation, your current state of being. Part of the work of moving away from being a people pleaser is releasing control and honouring your needs and wants and desires. Vipassana is an ancient mindfulness meditation technique. It's all about seeing things as they are. It's all about bringing your mind to the present moment and not being that judger, that person that tries to fix things or control things. It's about being the observer. And I think this is a really good thing to do as a people pleaser, to practice vipassana. There are many different sensations, different feelings, different circumstances that are going to urge you to act in a certain way, that are going to urge you to act from a place of fear. You know, if you're getting thoughts like, they don't like me, I need to hide the fact that I believe in this because I don't think they believe in it too. I'm not good enough. It's so easy to act on those thoughts. But as the Buddha says, it's great to be mindful of these things that we're thinking, to be observational, but to not react. Instead of trying to react, observe. And we can really apply this to those situations that we're in where we're, with someone who we don't feel like we can be ourselves with. We can think, oh, do I react on that thought that's telling me to pretend to be someone I'm not? Or do I just observe that I'm having that thought where I'm feeling, you know, the pressure to shapeshift and be someone I'm not in order to be likable? Shall I just observe that thought rather than act on that thought, rather than let that thought determine my behaviour? That's then going to have this ripple effect where I end up feeling icky and like I've not been myself and like nobody gets me or sees me. You may have a thought like, I don't fit in. What you can do is, instead of attaching yourself to that thought and seeing that thought as absolute truth, you can simply watch that thought come up. Don't say, this is me. Don't try to push it away or control it. Just watch it. Don't attach yourself to the thought. Just notice it. Don't act on the thought, just notice it. If you do attach yourself to that thought of, I don't fit in, your reaction is probably going to be something like laughing at jokes you don't find funny, smiling when you're really uncomfortable around people, hanging out with people for longer than you really want to and getting really drained, basically doing anything at the expense of your own values and your own energy and your own sanctity. The idea with vipassana meditation is that you leave the thought as a thought. It doesn't need to then become a behavior or a reaction. It can just be a thought that you observe. If we gently notice the kind of stream of thoughts that come into our head and we don't latch onto them or judge them, it's very easy for them to just kind of flow in and out. Like, you know, clouds in the sky. It's very easy to just watch them breeze past and a new cloud come up, a new thought come up, and then you watch that one go. If you don't judge it, if you don't attach yourself to it, if you don't react on those thoughts, it's so much easier to be a separate entity from that thought. See the thought come up and watch it blow away. Try sitting down or lying down, ideally in silence, and observe those thoughts that come and go. You'll become a lot less reactive to those kind of people-pleasing thoughts if you practice vipassana meditation frequently. Now, I want to leave this video by saying to you, no feeling or thought is permanent. I find this the most liberating, relaxing concept. So when I'm sad, when I'm feeling scared, that feeling is not going to be my forever. It's just my now. No feeling or thought is permanent. Same goes with happiness and joy and excitement though. But kind of that's the beauty with life. It really is unknown. It's a mystery because we never know, you know, what we're going to experience. And I think we can be a lot stronger in this life if we accept that we are going to experience this fluctuation, this wave of emotions. But we don't need to attach ourselves to those negative emotions and feelings and thoughts. We can be the observer. I think that's just a great practice for life. I actually have a really good meditation that I'm going to link at the end of this video that will help you realign more with your own desires and wants and needs. So look out for that. Bye-bye.